Yeah.
I did not. I never say that, and for a reason.
I know that's why you never say it, and that's exactly why I did say it.
Of course, I flip it on to us just talk about it, and nobody watching now knows what we're talking about. Okay. Of course, the soundboard's taking forever to come up again. God damn it.
I guess you should have waited for it to come up before you turned us on.
Yeah, man, you definitely got to get it up before you turn us on.
Yeah. Dick jokes and stuff. Fucking.
I thought we were above dick jokes on this show.
Says the man who draws dicks.
The man who explains jokes.
At least I know what a turtle and a tortoise are.
Cowabunga.
See, the difference between turtles and tourists is turtle. All right, soundboard's up. Let's do a countdown.
Oh, good. Let's get this fucking train on the track.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
More or less.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
Aw, yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's Game That Tune, and we're back in the house once again. It's ya boy, John Harrington here. We got David Fleming with us, say hey.
Hey.
We got John Regan, say hey.
Hey.
And we've got Jesse Moore, say hey.
Hey, real quick. I was thinking about if we ever have merchandise, we should make some like hats that are like blue or maybe red that say "Make America Game That Tune Again," or maybe like MAGA for short.
See, yeah.
That's a good idea. I feel like we might need to workshop it a little bit. It seems a little rough right now.
A couple of critiques.
Well, if you don't like that idea, I'm just gonna, quit the show and hold it up until we get it going again.
Oh no, he's going the nuclear option. He's gonna shut down Game That Tune over our hats. No, we'll discuss that later, Jesse. That's
okay,
an
cool.
unfair discussion. If you're just joining us here on Game That Tune, we are going to have some fun tonight. We've got video game music, and we're going to listen to it. We got 3 songs from a game. We're each going to try and guess each other's games based on the songs with a little bit of trivia. We're going to goof off. We're going to have a lot of fun. Hopefully, Jesse will allow the show to take place. And the winner at the end of the night will pick a theme for the next episode and play some bonus tunes. And I won last week's episode. And I try to, from time to time do some like holiday or timely themes. And, tomorrow night's Valentine's Day. So I'm ignoring that and I'm skipping right to the next holiday, President's Day. And I'm talking games that take place in the United States of America. I look forward to no USA chance on tonight's show because you guys clearly just missed that opportunity. And I appreciate that. And yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we've got a diverse slate of games. I think we probably got some interesting picks, and I'm interested to see what everybody brought. We got 4 great games. We got a great fan request, and yeah, man, I think we just got to make Game That Tune great again, and
make America notice Game That Tune again, manga.
Hey, make America notice Game That Tune for the first time
again.
Magnify. So yeah, Johnny, let's get it going, man, for America.
Game 1.
All right. So this is our fan request for the evening. This one comes to us from frequent requester, occasional guest, and Patreon superfan tier producer Dell. And we thank you for that request. So there are a couple of unused maps found in the beta code for this game. One of the unused areas is based on Greenwood Village from Diddy Kong Racing, and the other unused area is based on an area from Jet Force Gemini. All right. So how's everybody feeling?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Good. Then let's see what you guys got. We got two up. Let's see what Jesse's got. Oh man, he's working on something. Working on something big. John Regan says Mickey Speedway USA. David Fleming says Mickey Speedway USA. They're both correct. And Jesse has drawn a penis, and he is sadly incorrect.
That was a pretty big dick, though.
Fantastic. It's a good big dick on that drawing.
They're all big in America.
Exactly. We
Fuck
like
yeah.
things big here. Wait, is it the theme America or Texas? I'm lost.
Same thing.
Yeah, exactly. What is Texas if not
Yeehaw.
America? So
Mexico?
Mickey Speedway. Yeah, exactly. Ironically, it's actually Mexico. So yeah, Mickey Speedway USA, man. This game is a bit of a hoot. Did you guys ever play this one?
Oh,
I have not.
I remember renting it like once or twice from a Blockbuster because it's like a Disney kart racer on N64. So I for sure have played this before.
Exactly.
Who
It's
made it?
say what?
Who made this game?
So that's
Rare, I
the
believe.
that's the fun part that ties into my trivia. It's it says Disney and then Nintendo published it, but it was developed by Rare.
That's
So
what it sounded like. That's crazy.
yeah, they were putting their Diddy Kong Racing skills to the test to make a, I don't know, I guess kind of more basic racing game. It's like, hey, what was cool about Diddy Kong Racing was all those extra vehicles. So let's just make a kart racer. And should we set it in like a bunch of colorful Disney worlds? No, how about America?
So, like, do you get to like drive through Orlando?
No, there's no Orlando stage.
What?
I couldn't believe it.
Well, there is. If I remember, there's a
Too much traffic
Florida
on I-4.
stage.
There is the Everglades stage.
Is
Yeah.
there like a putt-putt golf stage?
No, John, they're all based on more famous locations than putt-putt golf. You got your classic, recognizable Americana places. You got San Francisco, you got the Grand Canyon, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Indianapolis. I mean, the first track of the game is Indianapolis, and I'm like, what an odd fucking place to start. And then I was like, oh wait, there's a famous racetrack in Indianapolis. But this racing game is not set on the Indy 500 racetrack, so it's just a drive around Indianapolis. I'm like, why would you start a Mickey Mouse racing game in Indianapolis?
I also remember I remember the Chicago level, and I remember being very confused because the Chicago level is set in a sewer.
Yes,
like, why
that
is
was the
it
second
not
song.
New York? Like,
Right.
I feel like
Chicago,
Chicago
famously
is known for many
disgusting.
things, but not sewers.
Yeah, it's almost like this could have been any racing game, and they just decided to make it a Mickey game and call these tracks United States things for some reason. Like, the only thing definably San Francisco is that there's a bridge you drive under. You don't even drive on the Golden Gate Bridge. You drive under it. Like,
It looks like you collect rings, like Sonic rings.
mm-hmm.
It looks like
Genesis,
you drive through.
Sega wasn't out of the console game yet, so they couldn't do a Sonic racing game on Nintendo 64. But
There's a track listed as Dakota. It doesn't say which one.
you just keep on winding up and down that border. Yeah. And I'm sure there's a Mount Rushmore in the background.
Here's Mount Rushmore, and here's where the fuck's in North Dakota.
Right, exactly. Bismarck.
Yeah.
The Black Hills, maybe?
Yeah, the Canadian border. There's some Mounties.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to kind of talk out of my head for a second because this game just strikes me as so odd. Like a Disney racing game, great idea. Disney racing game set in America, less great idea. Like,
There's unlockable racers, but this seems like a real cop-out.
I was going to Oh, wait. Should I not?
I guess everybody Googled this. That sabotages my early lightning round.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm just
you
watching a
guys.
video of it.
I was going to say, I remember one of the unlockable racers, and I wanted to bring up because, which
Please
I won't.
do.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if you don't want me to spoil the lightning round, I won't. But I remember...
He will. Whoever you're including is out of the lightning round.
I remember one of the unlockable racers being, oh God, what's his name? Like, Ludwig von Drake, like the old scientist duck from like DuckTales or the Donald Duck comics and everything. And I remember
Very important.
Even playing that back in like middle school and everything and unlocking that, it's like, that's an odd choice. Like,
Yes.
you've got Mickey, you've got Minnie, and then like, oh yeah, Ludwig von Drake. Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
Famous. That other famous elder duck. I don't know, man. It's very odd. Johnny, hit the lightning round sound. Let's do a quick one.
Lightning round.
So hopefully you guys aren't Googling anything anymore because we're just going to do a single elimination lightning round and talk about the characters available in this game. So Johnny, tell me a character that you can race as in Mickey Speedway USA. If you get it wrong, you're out.
Huey.
Huey the Duck. Yes. Jesse, you're next.
Donald.
Donald Duck. That's correct. David.
Goofy.
Goofy is correct. Johnny.
Dewey the Duck.
Dewey. Jesse.
Minnie.
Minnie Mouse. That's correct. David.
Mickey.
Mickey Mouse. Johnny.
The third duck, Louie. Did I say Louie already?
Nope, you got it. That's Louie. Jesse.
Daisy.
Daisy Duck. That's correct. David.
Pete.
Pete. That's correct. And the final racer is Ludwig von Drake or whoever. That's it. You guys aced that lightning round because there are not very many characters in this game. Seriously, what the fuck? Where are the characters?
Well, I feel like Huey, Dewey, and Louie is a real cop-out because that's the same character, right? I mean, there's no way.
No shit.
There's no way they're different.
They wear different colors, but they're not even distinct characters like Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. It's insane. Like, I just 60% of this game's roster is ducks.
Those are 3 of the 4 unlockables. So you unlock the same character 3 times.
Yeah, no shit. And it's just they should have just had this be like Donald Duck racing game. His whole fucking family's here. It's like Mickey's like, hey, let's have a go-kart race, and Donald's like, cool. I'm bringing the kids. I'm bringing that weird Ludwig guy, and I'm bringing my girlfriend. Like, it's cool. It's cool if I bring all these people, right?
John, that's a terrible Donald Duck impression. What are you doing?
I don't do Donald Duck impressions.
I love that it's a game from the House of Mouse, and 60% of it is ducks.
Yes, now it's 60% duck. But like, I know there's not that many classic Disney characters to pull from. It's not like Toy Story movies have just been coming out, or like Bug's Life or anything like that. And those are Pixar,
okay. That was
setting
sarcasm.
those aside. I know there's not like Chip and Dale or, anybody from The Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast or, I don't know, like Robin Hood.
I would love to have like Oswald
Jungle Book.
Oswald the Lucky
Pluto.
Rabbit as an unlockable would be pretty good.
This game came out in 98 or 99, so this was like
2000.
this was right at the tail end of the Renaissance. So like Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Mulan, like all of this was existed.
Right. Toy Story 2.
Well, yeah, but so is this
Baloo.
is this a Mickey Mouse extended universe kind of situation, or is this just the Mickey
It
Mouse
should have been.
Well, even then, Chip and Dale should have been in for sure because he's always fucking with Pluto and stuff. Like,
yeah, exactly. And Pluto is he's the MacGuffin in the game. That somebody kidnaps Pluto, some weasels kidnap Pluto, and you got to get him back. And to get him back, apparently you have to go on go-kart races. The story for this game, people, it's just outrageous. But yeah, no, like they just should have had more characters and a little less America. Like there's good ideas in here, but the two things combined, like Mickey and or like not even two things, but like Mickey go-karts, good idea. Go-karts America, good idea. Mickey America, maybe even a good idea. But all 3 of those combined, like, wait a minute, why is Mickey Mouse racing go-karts across America? And where the fuck are the rest of the Disney characters? Like, House of Mouse was out. Don't they have those like Disney Channel interstitials where everybody's like hanging out of that cabaret club? And it's like, where are they?
Every track should be a different Disney resort. You could have Disneyland, Disney World, Tokyo Disney, Disney Sea Parks, whatever that one's called.
You literally have like no Disney brand synergy in this game, which is crazy. It's just like, Mickey Mouse driving around New Mexico. It's like, why?
I would love to play this game and you're racing around the Walt Disney Vero Beach Resort and you just sit there and yourself like, what the fuck?
Or
this
exists. At the very least, like, have Mickey in USA locations, but the Disney version. So, like, New Mexico is basically Frontierland, and New Orleans is, like, the Haunted Mansion. Like,
all of those are good ideas. Yeah, seriously, just call them USA locations and then make them obviously part of Disney World. Like, we're racing around Minnesota. That's the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. What the fuck is this game trying to pull? Like,
I would be so pissed if I was
nuts.
playing this game. Like the second I unlock the second duck, that's when I probably quit and rage.
Dewey!
Like, what the fuck?
I'm just imagining it's like there's a track set in like the Appalachian Mountains, and you see the Matterhorn. Like, isn't that in the Alps?
Yeah, the big Thunder Mountain Railroad just flies by. It's like, okay, that kind of works. And then it's also the Matterhorn. It's like, okay, they're just it's a little bit much.
Maybe that's what the Dakota track is. It's just the various mountains from Disney, but it's supposedly the Black Hills of North Dakota.
Yes, exactly. Now, a magical like Disney parks racing game actually would be pretty dope. Like, just an expanded version of all the attractions in racetrack form would be a great idea. Mickey Speedway USA, not a terrible game, but not, just what an odd fucking like series of choices. So I don't know. Great tunes, though. That's the thing, man. Rare decked it out. It's, not their usual stable of composers. The composer on this one is Ben Cullum. And, the tunes are good, man. I like that. And, I was looking up. There's some guy on YouTube. I'll have to fire off a link in the Discord. He took all the tracks from this, and he added Mario Kart 8 backing beats, when you're in first place in Mario Kart 8 and the drum beat starts kicking in. He took all the songs from this and added that backbeat, and it's fucking excellent. So good tunes, weird fucking game, odd series of decisions for Disney and Rare and Nintendo. But thank you, Dell, for the request. And Johnny, I think it's time to keep going, man.
Game 2.
All right. So one review of this game states, quote, Dabney Coleman may be nowhere to be found here, but once you get past this slight oversight, parenthetical, all games should feature at least one picture of Dabney, end parenthetical, you'll discover a great shooter. All right. Who's got some answers for me?
Man, I've never been so confident.
All right. John says the Beverly Hillbillies, which I so wish was correct. David and Jesse both say War Games, and this is close enough, I think, to give it to them. This is War Games.
It's Cloak and Dagger, isn't it?
It's War Games DEF CON 1 for the PlayStation and PC.
Oh. So you played this?
I watched a lot of videos and read some reviews. I love War Games the movie, but this is not War Games the movie. This is War Games DEFCON 1, which takes place roughly 20 years after the movies. And you get to choose, like, you could play as NORAD, or you could play as the computer at NORAD, which I think is a very interesting concept for a game here. I feel like they kind of did not understand when they said, oh, you could play as Whopper, that was just NORAD's computer. Because when you play the game, it's a real-time strategy game, kind of.
Do you get to track Santa Claus?
No, you don't get to track Santa Claus. Oh, God, that should have been a mission, though. So you get to choose between NORAD and Whopper, and you fight battles, basically. NORAD has traditional military gear, and Whopper has futuristic military gear. And that's the part that is a little confusing, because, again, Whopper's just the computer. Like, Whopper's just the simulation machine at NORAD. So I feel like they did not actually watch the movie when they made this game. Plus, it doesn't have Dabney Coleman in it.
Can you be Matthew Broderick? Wasn't he in this?
He was. Matthew Broderick, Ali Sheedy, Dabney Coleman, and I forget if anybody else is in it.
Nobody else.
No, none of the original cast makes an appearance, except I think the voice of Joshua might make an appearance briefly. And yeah, this is War Games. So we can just talk about the movie War Games if you want to do that.
John, is that what you want to do? Because I have a sneaking suspicion that's what you want to do.
It's one of the best movies.
Never seen it.
See,
much like War Games the game, and I've never played it. War Games the movie, never seen it. But I am not a gigantic dork ass like you are. So
I was so convinced when you were saying, like, oh, I can't wait to play my game. It's an excuse to talk about one of my favorite things. I for sure thought that this was going to be a Back to the Future game.
See, yeah, that's a nice little slice of Americana. That would have been cool. Or we could have really talked at length about the illustrious career of Dabney Coleman, but I just
we can talk about.
I guess we're not
Dabney
doing
Coleman.
that either. I don't want to talk about Dabney Coleman. The guy's fucking great. We've talked about Dabney Coleman at length. He's fucking illustrious, and I was surprised to learn
he was
he's
the
not
theme
dead.
of episode 62.
Yeah, exactly.
Dabney Coleman games.
Yeah, I was watching an
that's why
episode of The Love Boat recently, and I sat there for a second like, hey, I think that's Dabney Coleman. And I proceeded to go down his IMDb page, and it is long. He has had quite the career.
Yeah,
I was so close to writing the town when I got to War Games. I said, oh, there's Johnny. Okay.
Right. Yeah, no, but Dabney Coleman, fun fact, his real name, Dabney Coleman. Fucking impressive. It's not a made up name at all. And yeah, I mean, the guy's fucking great. He's in Tootsies and Beverly Hillbillies. Fucking, he was on Boardwalk Empire. Like, the guy's great. And, like I said a minute ago, I was surprised to learn, not dead. I thought he was very, he is a very old man. He's 87 years old, but he's not dead. So I'm very happy to know that. Like, my man Dabney.
Do we have a not dead jingle?
Maybe. That's the jingle for too many things, man. That can't be. We can't play that when we talk about somebody that's not dead. Good Lord. But yeah, see, and one thing I didn't know about Dabney Coleman was that he was in the movie War Games, because I've never fucking seen War Games, John. It came out 2 years before I was born.
Yeah, me too. It's still great.
And I'm not a huge dork ass. So, I mean, there it is. Like, I don't like computers. So I didn't watch it.
I don't like computers.
I watched the other fucking Matthew Broderick iconic film of the 80s. Fucking Ferris Bueller's Day Off, baby. I like Ferraris and pranks.
And
I don't fucking dig on computers and war games and shit. I like Chicago and fucking Alan Ruck.
You don't like computers and NORAD in Oregon?
No! is that all you got?
Matthew Broderick?
Ali Sheedy?
Yeah. I do like Ali Sheedy. Now, don't
Just
get me
say-
wrong. Don't get me
Dabney
going down a
Coleman?
Sheedy hole here.
So it's like he was a Ferris Bueller fan. He clearly preferred Jennifer Grey to Ali Sheedy.
No, I was more of a Mia Sara guy because
that's true.
she was also in Legend, and she is just angelic in that movie. But yeah, Sheedy, be still my heart. Breakfast Club. I don't know about you guys, but into Breakfast Club when it's like, oh look, she had her makeover. It's like, nah, man, what the fuck? Like, she was fine as a weirdo.
She was great as a weirdo. She was checking
great.
all my boxes.
I remember watching the end of Breakfast Club and having two thoughts seeing Ali Sheedy. Number one, I liked her better in black. And number two, where were there extra clothes that fit her? Like,
Right.
Where did those clothes come from? Because
It was
she's in like the
cold
pretty
and-
like pink dress and everything. It's like,
Yeah.
she was all in black. What?
They hit the lost and found a full set of clothes.
Now, so David,
Um,
have you ever seen War Games? Am I the only one that's seen War Games?
I have seen War Games many, many years ago.
I thought you were going to say many, many times, and you've just been dodging the question. Like,
I-
I've watched it a number of times.
It's trash.
I do remember
it's like
the
Street Fighter the movie.
the
Hot
one
trash.
scene that always sticks out to me more than anything else in War Games is when the computer says, "How about a nice game of tic-tac-toe?" and everyone starts cheering, like just losing their mind.
One, David, spoilers. Two, it's a nice game of chess.
Boom.
Because
Shows what you know about
the reason
War
the
Games.
reason you're remembering tic-tac-toe is because it keeps playing itself in a game of tic-tac-toe and coming up with ties and determine that the only winning move is not to play the game in the first place. That's I
'cause
think that's where you're getting
tic-tac-toe
tic-tac-toe.
Is there some kind of like message that they're trying to get across in that movie?
Nobody wins in a game of global thermonuclear war.
Ah.
So I
I was
love
gonna say it was the '80s. The message is nuclear war is bad.
I love
Yeah,
this
I could've
movie
told you
because
that.
Matthew Broderick's on his computer trying to hack into trying to find games because he saw an ad about some company coming out with new games. Like, oh, I gotta find these now. So he accidentally dials in an NORAD and finds a list of games,
Oops.
and the games are like tic-tac-toe, chess, backgammon, solitaire, global thermonuclear war. like it really
Take
jumps
that.
up a level as it goes down the list. He's like, I want to play that one.
Yeah.
Take that, Richard
Yeah.
Garriott.
I would have gone for Spider Solitaire, but no, I had to go with thermonuclear war. Huh. So you haven't said anything of significance about the actual game you chose.
Oh, so the game's actually pretty okay. So it's a real-time strategy-ish game, and I say strategy-ish because the strategy is just blow everything up. It looks like Blast Core, right? Like you're running around just fucking wrecking shit. And so if that's what you're in the mood for, it's great. I think the problem was it was marketed as a real-time strategy game, and there's no strategy. Like you just destroy everything. And in
Nice.
most real-time strategy games, you get to control like troops of units and command them to do things. But in this game, you just swap around between the units that are on the field. And typically, you can just pick one and just stick with it the whole time. There's not really a good reason to ever switch to others. And yeah, you just blow things up for a few minutes and then move on to the next mission. So if you just want to fly around in like future-y hovercraft and blow things up for a while, not a bad time.
But if you want a faithful retelling or a continuation of the War Games cinematic universe, does it tick your boxes, John?
Yeah, it does not. Like I said, it's got sound effects through the movie. That's a nice touch.
Any MPVs?
But that's like any what?
FMVs?
No FMVs that I know of, except for the intro like title sequence, right? And yeah, you don't get to see Joshua play itself in Tic-Tac-Toe. You don't get to go to Stephen Falcon's Goose Island, Oregon, and save blah blah blah. I'm trying to drop references to the movie, but none of you guys have seen it, so what does it matter?
Yeah, tight. Let us culminate this worst segment ever. Johnny, anything else about War Games, DEFCON 1, or your apparent favorite fucking movie of all time, War Games?
Go watch War Games.
I feel like I kind of have to at this point.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
We could do a commentary for it for Patreon.
Exactly, yeah. Fucking bonus Patreon commentary coming up about war games. So, yeah, let's keep it going. Shout out to composer
Game
Tommy Tallarico. All right. At one point during development, the downtown area was twice the size of what was ultimately in the finished game. The team decided it was too large and confusing and cut it in half. They also felt the rest of the game's area was too small, so they doubled it in size. Man, good stuff.
You do the
How you
trivia
guys
one
feel
more
after
time.
that? Oh, you really want me to read that trivia again? Come on, man. You know I closed my trivia document. At one point during development, the downtown area of the game was twice the size of what was ultimately in the finished game. The team decided it was too large and confusing and cut it in half. And they felt the rest of the game's area was too small, so they doubled it in size.
And answer to your question, not great.
Oh, that's too bad. Oh, let's see. So Jesse says Watch Dogs, which is incorrect. David says Saints Row the Fourth, which is incorrect. John has a penis pointing at another penis.
It's doubling in size.
Oh, he doubled it in size. Gross, John. That's terrible and disgusting. No, this is Fallout 3.
Oh fuck!
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, a game with a famous downtown area for you to explore, and then also a famous rest of the game, that big old wasteland for you to wander around and just have a ball in, man. This game is just about having a ball. Man. I hope I'm not the only person here who's played Fallout 3.
Oh hell no! I bought DLC for that one.
All right, good. You know, but the real question is, Johnny and David, did you ever touch this?
No, I did not.
no.
I'll excuse myself.
I'm not. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. How about that? This game's
You're
phenomenal.
often disappointed with us.
Well, not you, David, but you know,
We're all
you
giving
and Johnny
each
at the
other
same
homework
time.
assignments tonight.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm gonna go watch War Games. You guys go fucking get a Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition. We could have addressed this months ago too, because this we missed the window on fucking Fallout 3 GTT gyms in our 3-month GTT gyms hiatus, and we should have talked about it, quite frankly, because it's been 10 years now, over 10 years since this game came out, and this game fucking rules. Man, what a fucking game. I just remember this one being like fucking mind-blowing. It was like, it's like, all right, yeah. Before, I think it was amongst the games that made me get a PS3. Like, I was gonna get one because of Metal Gear Solid 4, and then like I saw somebody with this. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm buying the PS3 like nowish. Like that needs that. I need that. That needs me. That wasteland needs my help.
I'll save you wasteland.
Exactly. I'm gonna purify your waters. It's gonna be great.
Oh God, that sounds gross.
I'm gonna find you, Liam Neeson. There's nothing problematic about you.
Let's not.
Hey, like I said, there's nothing problematic about Liam Neeson in 2008. So man, there's it's so easy to cover a game like Fallout 3 in like 10 minutes or so. Like there's just so little to talk about. But no, for real, it's an appealing mix of like RPG and like first person shooter for me. I've never been huge into like RPGs. I've never been really into like first person shooters at all. And then it's like, all right, so you got a first person like open world thing, like no levels. You can just wander around and do whatever you want. Okay, that's cool. When it comes time for action, you can slow the action down to like super slow-mo and do targeting on like specific limbs and things. Okay, that's dope. And you can level your character up and get a bunch of crazy perks, and there's all kinds of branching paths because of the karma and like so many fucking side quests and characters and things. Like, all right, yeah, this game's dope. So yeah, it was pretty great, man. Jesse, what do you remember about this game? Let's share some Fallout 3 fondness.
Well, I hate to be that guy.
Oh
but,
no!
No, it's not going to be bad.
It's not that dope.
No, it's great. But I'd played Fallout and Fallout 2, and so I was super hyped for Fallout 3. Like a lot of old school people were like, "Hey, it's not that isometric RPG like we're used to," and I'm like, "Yeah, because they're trying something new,
Duh.
And it was fucking awesome. I know there's still a lot of people that are grouchy about that game, but fuck them. And
yeah, anybody that's grouchy that games have changed since the 90s need to go fuck themselves. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I loved like getting like the power armor and stuff.
Yeah.
And let's see, what was they're fighting the super mutants or running up against a death claw,
Yeah, so that's the thing. So this was my first Fallout game. I didn't play the originals, and so I didn't really know like what I was up against, what to expect. I'm just exploring an irradiated wasteland and yada yada yada. And the first time that I like went into downtown and like I came out of like one of those subway stations and there was like a super mutant, I'm like, what the fuck is that thing? Like I legit just got like it's almost like every time I encountered something in this game, it's like, all right, hold up, I don't know what the fuck that thing is. Like I don't know how to handle this. Like I need to take a second, need to hit that VATS, need to look at those weak points and shit. I need to think and like change my weapon. I just like that, it's actiony, but it lets you slow down the action because like there's something so weird and like for me it's just like head trippy about just that game. Like you're alone and you don't, for me, again, it being my first Fallout game, it's like, all right, I don't know what I'm up against, and I'm always the kind of guy that wants to think about it and go in and get it right, and so it gave you that opportunity. But it was just man, I spent so much of that game just like sneaking around and being fucking tense. Like it's yeah, those fucking super mutants. Turns out they're not that serious. They're all over the place. You can just blow them away with like a shotgun. But man, the first time I saw one, I had no idea what the fuck was going on. So it was freaky.
And whenever you'd like critical hit someone or kill them, it was always so fucking violent and great.
Dude,
it was great.
So gross. When that cinematic, just like eyes blowing all over the place, and nasty ass 3D fucking explosions of heads and things. It was cool.
Handheld nuke launcher.
God, the Fat Man's so cool. Like you get a miniature nuke launcher. I love like finding the little mini nukes for that, and it's like, all right, I gotta save that for just the right moment, baby. And like, usually it was for a battle that I was like stuck having to respawn in. Like, all right, I've died a couple of times. That's it. I'm fucking finding a little bit of cover, and I'm pulling out the Fat Man. Like. Oh, dude. I love also if you do the slow-mo, like the VATS thing, and you like target someone's head with the Fat Man. It's just like, all right, here it goes. It's just so slow, and it's done. Like it's over. I'm shooting like one guy with a nuke. It's just so slowly going. And he's, it's like showing them in slow motion. They're running and trying to shoot me. And then they get hit in the head with a nuclear bomb. And there's a fucking mushroom cloud. It's like, yeah, this game's fucking cool. Like, this is good. Yeah, no, for real, Johnny and David, you really should play this. It's, it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's got mass appeal. Like, like I said, it's for shooter fans, it's for RPG fans, it's for fans of games with kind of stupid stories. I mean, the story is pretty inconsequential, but man, if you like just kind of exploring something wacky and just, discovering all the weird little things, there's so many weird little things to explore and discover in this game. Like, I think that's what I love about it. Go for it, John.
I do enjoy that. I remember when I played Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Like, I love just exploring and finding weird little things and side quests and all kinds of shit like that. Mm-hmm. So I assume it's like that?
Yes.
Game company. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just like that.
Nice.
And, yeah, I love that, like, the basic outline of the story, like there was a nuclear war and there's, been a bunch of fucking just, mutations and awfulness going on, and it's a couple hundred years after that, and Washington D.C. is an irradiated wasteland, and so it's a bunch of raiders and degenerates and people coming out of vaults and things like that.
So
and,
like DC today.
Yeah, more or less. Turns out that nuclear war didn't drain the swamp. Who knew?
Manga.
But yeah. Hold on. Making the wasteland great again. We're not doing that. But yeah, I just like, for the little touches, like there's like those vaults all over the place, and all of them have some weird fucked up story, and you can discover like every tiny iota of that story. Like you go to another vault, and like everything in the game is so like methodically placed. It's like, it's like fucking walking through a big diorama. There's computers you can access that give you little backgrounds on things. And I mean, like the whole game's like that. It really is just like a very well crafted like diorama where you're walking around. It's like, man, what the fuck is that off in the distance? I better go check it out. And then it turns out, it's like a radiated house, and there's bodies inside, things like the setting tells the story without a whole lot of fucking story like being needed to be told. It's like, what happened, and here's like a little detail, like this area is overrun with military robots, and this area is like, it's just like, I don't know. It's cool. I find it very cool. Like you discover just nuance and fun parts of this zany fucking world.
Yeah, I appreciate games where you get to find a lot of lore, right?
Oh, there's lore.
Yeah.
Every fucking building has some lore. It's great. And if it's not lore for like pre-war, DC, it's lore from like, who's there now, and like, like when you go to the National Mall, it's just this fucking battleground now. It's like trenches, and like super mutants are holed up in this one building, and slavers have taken over the Lincoln Memorial, and like these guys, it's like just warring factions of people, and just it's cool, man. There's just a lot of detail and lore in the world, and yeah, it's a fucking blast to play, man. It's great, and it's I could go on about it for a long fucking time. I wish we hadn't taken those few months off of GTT Gems, because I could have gotten some of this out of my system a couple of months ago. But you guys all should play it. or any of these new Fallout games. Because if you don't, you think this one's a little too serious, go for New Vegas. It's extra stupid, and Fallout 4, pretty fucking absurd. So like these first-person giant world exploring Fallout games, they're all like this, and they're all pretty great. So it's dope, and the tunes are dope and weird and atmospheric, and I almost want to bust out my PS3 now and dive back into that terrible, terrible fucking wasteland and go pet my dog. I miss that guy.
No.
So,
puppers.
Yeah, Johnny, you'll love that. You get to explore Washington, D.C. with a fucking German Shepherd.
No.
And it's
Dog
great.
meat.
So, instead of doing that in the real world, do it in a 10-year-old video game, John. I command you. And I'll go watch War Games, and we'll move on to the next game.
Game 4.
All right. So Billy West stars in this melting pot of genres that includes driving, shooting gallery, and beat 'em up. Well. How you guys feeling?
Can you repeat the trivia one more time?
So, Billy West stars in this melting pot of genres that include driving, shooting gallery, and beat 'em up.
Huh.
Dude, it's tough based on the music, and no fucking, Billy West voice clips to work off of. But I think I know what I've got here.
Man.
Oh man, you guys are really taking this time limit.
There's a limit? Shit.
So Johnny has 3 exclamation points, which is incorrect. David says Nicktoons Attack of the Toy Bots. That's incorrect. And John has the correct answer, The Adventures of Bayou Billy.
Now hold
which
on a
takes
minute.
place in New Orleans.
Starring
Billy West.
So the main character. Oh,
You son of a bitch.
Tricky.
That's his name.
Oh, you just pissed off David's voice actor knowledge database so badly. It's I could see the gears turning in his head.
Well, it was also one of those things Billy
It's a
West
Futurama
stars
game.
in this game. It's this music came before 1991. And
right, exactly.
how did they have Billy West voice clips on the NES?
Is this from
what
the mini? From a mini game section of a Futurama game or something?
Wasn't
no?
I think there were Ren and Stimpy games ported to NES, weren't there?
Yeah, but did he have Billy West?
Was he on Ren and Stimpy? I don't even know.
Yes, but
Yeah,
did the NES have? Let's do a lightning round of NES games with voices. Yeah,
Skater
Let's
guy.
not.
Ghostbusters, and that's all I got.
The Adventures of Bayou Billy.
Yeah, my man Bayou Billy.
Well, no, because at the title screen it says The Adventures of Bayou Billy. So there is voice acting in that game.
Right, yeah, no, I mean, there is voice acting in some NES games, but it is not by Billy West. It's, it's more it's by, Tim and Jeff Fallon. It's just sound programming. It's not it's not voices. It's just, computer gurgles. But yeah, so, man, Bayou Billy. So, Jesse, you played this one?
Yeah, this past week I've been doing some homework on this game, and oh my god, this game is something. So I had never played it before. My only knowledge of this game was from the episode of Captain N where they go into Bayou Billy's world.
Nice.
And so I just figured it had something to do with Crocodile Dundee, but he was a Cajun instead.
Right.
And I was pretty much correct. It's a Konami game, and I feel like there's a lot of really awesome, great ideas in this game, but the execution is the worst. You start off in this beat 'em up stage, and that would be cool, but the enemies don't react well. When you hit them, there's no real knockback to them, so they just still come right at you. And
Right.
It seems like their range is just a little longer than your range, and you use the punch and kick button to do the jump kick thing, in Double Dragon. So it's they've heard of other beat 'em ups that are good, and they take ideas from that, but everything else is just shit. And so you get to this point where you have to do a little platforming across the swamp. And so you have to do this jump kick to jump. So you have to press 2 buttons to jump, in the horrible part of Double Dragon where you have to do that.
I hate the jumping sections of Double Dragon, so I can only imagine how they are in a game like Bayou Billy, where maybe they're lacking a little bit of polish.
It's not as that bad because when you get in the water, you don't die instantly. It's just the alligator.
Oh, that's good.
It's the alligators in the water that swim over to you. You got to get away from them. So if you can just jump back onto the dock, you're fine.
Yeah, no, that never made sense to me in like Double Dragon 2 or maybe it's 2. You have to like jump across like the little broken bridge, and if you fall in like this, shallow little river, you're dead. It's like you're the Double Dragons, man. You can swim to the other side and still fight the guy a little bit wet. Like
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
yeah.
So then
sudden
you
death
have to
platforming
fight.
sucks.
Then you have to fight a couple alligators. And so
Nice.
then at that point, you're like, okay, this must be the boss fight. No, after you fight them, you have to keep going. And then you fight dudes that are in scuba suits and have guns. And
Yes.
you can get a gun, which is cool. But by that time, you probably only have one life left because this game is just, it does not care about you. It is just so punishingly difficult.
Now,
And not in a like good way.
at any point,
Yeah, not
do
in
you
like
get to
a
see-
want to play it again way.
At any point, do you get to see famous Louisiana landmarks? Like, do you get to go and beat up a bunch of people on Bourbon Street? Because that would be awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
You do get to go to New Orleans and Bourbon Street because there's also the driving section, which is so at the beginning of the game. There's a training mode, luckily, because otherwise you wouldn't see any of the other cool stuff in this game. So so you can do the training part where you can drive, and the driving is pretty cool. You can shoot with your car, and you can throw grenades out of it, and it's kind of the like the typical drive forward and stuff coming at you type driving from that era. And so it's all right. It's very difficult also. And then the shooting gallery portion, you can use the light gun if you're using on the NES. But if you're not using an NES and you don't have a computer light gun,
right,
it makes it a little difficult if you catch
gets a
my
little
meaning.
tricky.
So
Yeah, no, see, I like the idea of a game that mixes together the like NES different control things, like using the light gun, but it doesn't really age well when like you can get by your belly for like $5 at your used game store and take it home, and it's like, oh right, shit, I don't have a zapper anymore. Like,
God, like you got me thinking.
crud.
Like, I wish they made games that combined peripherals, like a game where you run on the power pad while shooting things with the light gun.
that'd be awesome.
I'm sure the NES can handle that. A first-person shooter where you have to run using the power pad. Sounds great.
It does.
What happens if I change directions? It doesn't come up. Yeah, you are running down a hallway and shooting things with the light gun. It's the Contra base
It's
level,
like Doom.
but you have to run using the power pad.
I was gonna say it's somehow they created a power pad for the Super Nintendo. It uses mode 7, so like the hallway moves around you, but you stay like facing one direction.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude, a power pad with like the super scope would be pretty sweet. Or not, it'd be pretty exhausting. But yeah, they could have brought this back and used like the Wii balance board and like the Wii remote and done like a like Bayou Billy for Wii. That would have been pretty sweet. I just realized I don't need to include the stepping thing. That was Johnny's stupid idea. That wasn't part of the original game.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Just make it new, like one of those retro style indie games, but with the basic story, better beat 'em up stages, better all, make it fun, not just
It would
stupid,
honestly-
challenging, and get
it would
Billy
actually
West to
make a
do the
lot of-
voice.
Right. Okay. So yeah, it would make a lot of sense for like a Switch remake. Johnny, prepare the perfect for Switch sound. So Bayou Billy on the Switch, where you got the controllers detached, you can either be playing like with like two Joy-Cons. I don't know why you would need both, but like maybe there's a 2-player mode. You can split the Joy-Cons, and for the shooting sections, you just turn them to the screen, and you got fucking zappers that you can use.
Hell yeah.
And then for the driving sections, turn them on the side, use a little bit of them tilty controls. And I don't know, I mean, there's an HD rumble if you get bit by an alligator. It sounds like a Bayou Billy remake might be perfect for Switch. Space! Well done. But yeah, no, actually, that sounds like a dope-ass fucking idea. And bring back some old-school composers, man. Like, I'd play that. That'd be good, man.
Dear Konami.
Yes, exactly. Please stop making pachinko machines. The Bayou Billy pachinko machine is great, but we would like a new, a retro remake for Switch, that would be greater than The Adventures of Pachinko Billy.
I've just realized we need to use some of that Patreon money to hire Tim Curry to re-record a line in his Russian accent saying "Switch," so we have a perfect for Switch sound.
Perfect for Switch. Done.
What's he doing
sure
these
Tim
days?
Curry- I think he can still talk. Thank you.
That's a surprise he's alive. Sound.
Is that the?
He's still alive.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, he is. Thanks for reminding us, John. But you know who's not still alive? I assume is Bayou Billy. It's been quite some time since we heard from him. In his quest to, I assume, rescue his girlfriend from like some sort of Big Daddy-esque New Orleans crime boss.
Yeah, he smokes a cigar, wears a cowboy hat.
Yeah, of course he does. Yes. Yeah. I would expect no less from the villain of The Adventures of Bayou Billy. But yeah, Jesse, dope pick, dope soundtrack. It's time for a Switch remake. Anything else on Bayou Billy?
No, that's it.
Hell yeah, man. Let's keep it going, John.
Game 5.
We love you too, Craig.
This game features 4 different versions of the family's main living room. One is a standard version. The other 3 appear depending on what the system's clock is set to, as there are special decorations for Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So, who has some answers?
Oh, man. This takes me back.
Yeah, it does.
So, Jesse Moore says Full House XXX. Sadly incorrect. John and John have the correct answer of The Simpsons Hit and Run. Taking place entirely within Springfield, USA.
Right. So let's talk for a moment about that, David. And so what state is Springfield in?
All of them.
Okay, that's the right answer, David. It's funny. You sounded like you had a voice in stereo there, and it was you and John talking at the same time.
I'm sorry. I had a problem with my mic that duplicated my voice and made the second voice sound dorkier.
Made my back sound really hairy. So
and for some reason, my mic won't stop talking about war games.
Exactly. Jesus Christ. But yeah, so no, you were a little concerned before the episode that maybe we would have some sort of issue with a fictionalized version of America. No, The Simpsons is firmly American, and I am happy to have this qualify for the theme. Well done, David. Calculating computer, game over. No, I just don't want to get caught in my hot take that I don't like this game. Oh crap! I
Wait.
just did it.
Sorry, I was not.
I was waiting
prepared
for the
that.
hot take sound.
I know.
Yeah.
What the hell?
You really threw me off guard.
Yeah,
Like, whoa.
Johnny, I'm hitting you with everything tonight. It's like war games. You never know what's going to happen. That's a thing in war games. You never know what's going to happen.
Remember when Matthew Broderick said that? He turned around to Ali Sheedy and he's like, "You never know what's gonna happen."
Yeah,
She's
Matthew
like,
Broderick
"Whoa."
lays down on his bed and he goes, "War games moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, anything can happen."
Now look at my
Boom.
dick.
Boom, boom. That's war games, right? No,
We
so
are
Simpsons.
wildly off topic.
Again, Simpsons Hit and Run. David, tell us about it.
Now I feel like everything I say has to be like have a qualifying statement because apparently you
No.
don't like
Yep.
this game.
I don't.
I really enjoyed this game. It was coming out at that period. It was like early 2000s where Grand Theft Auto was everywhere. So everybody was trying to make that like open world style thing. So it was basically like, hey, let's make an open world kind of beat 'em up, kind of driving game. But let's do The Simpsons. And I really liked it because here's my hot take. Apart from the arcade game, like up to this point, I feel like most Simpsons games kind of sucked. Because you had like hot take.
Oh,
You
he
didn't give it
gets
to me
one.
earlier. I was going to say that wasn't that much of a hot take. Simpsons games all suck.
He gave you so much time to come in and be ready for it.
Yeah, you
dropped your
should've
hot
denied
take
him
so
as well,
fucking
man.
fast. I was not ready.
Yeah, I bring it
super
fast and
hot
furious,
take.
baby.
I mean,
man.
like-
But I mean, I'm not saying it's not a hot take because it is a hot take to say that make a blanket statement and say that something sucks. But no, Simpsons games in general, yes, they suck.
I mean, this game came along like I'll admit, Road Rage was pretty fun, but it was basically Crazy Taxi.
Yes, love
Um,
Road Rage.
And then this game came out.
That's
It's like,
good.
wait, this game's pretty fucking cool. Like, and aside, now I just want to talk about like, yeah, Road Rage was like Crazy Taxi, and then you had stuff like Bart's Nightmare.
That's
That's
bad.
bad. And then you had the Simpsons game.
That's good.
That's bad.
I
Bart,
go now?
Bart
Oh, I
Bart
think you meant
versus
the arcade game.
Bart versus the world.
That's bad.
That's bad.
Bart versus the Space Mutants. No,
That's bad.
That's famously
That's bad.
Yeah.
But then this game came along, and it had that kind of open world go anywhere. I loved carjacking people as Marge. Like that was surprisingly entertaining. But what really made this game for me, at least, was there are some deep cut references for Simpsons fans. Like
Yes.
the fact that one of the unlockable cars is Mr. Plow. Okay, that's something that I would expect. The fact that you can go to Chester J. Lampwick's solid gold house and steal his rocket car.
It was rocket car.
That's incredible. Like
Right.
one of Lisa's unlockable costumes is her Florida costume. Like
That's dope.
there are so
it's-
many references in this
Can
game,
you-
and it's so fucking funny.
Can you get the car that Homer designs?
Yes.
Yeah, of course you can. Homer the car for Homer. You got to have that. No, and see, that's the problem. I'm like at odds with myself over this game because the game is loaded. It's like a love letter to Simpsons, fans. It's just, it's an open world Simpsons game it's just loaded with wacky Simpsons references and fun Simpsons stuff and deep cuts for guys like you and me who have watched, The Simpsons throughout our fucking teenage lives. But the game's not fun. Like that was my problem with it. It's like such a basic bitch Grand Theft Auto ripoff that it's just not fun to play. It's like I love Simpsons references. I can look at a book for those.
it's very.
I didn't have fun playing the game.
It's very, very repetitive. I don't recall any of the cars driving particularly different compared to other cars. Like maybe they're a little faster. Some of them. That's about it.
Right.
In Grand Theft Auto, you could go off and like find stunts and things like that to do. This game's like, nope.
Mhm.
Like you're gonna have a race. You're gonna have
I think they had a few stunts in the game. I feel like you had to
maybe, okay.
jump the thing through the lard lad donut at some point, and
I remember there being stunts, and I remember there being hidden collectibles that you had to go. I want to say that they were weather vanes you had to smash, or they were something. But no, there was definitely hidden collectibles and things. I will admit, for the most part, yeah, it's a pretty standard Grand Theft Auto clone, but it's a standard Grand Theft Auto clone in a really nice Simpsons coat of paint.
Could you pick up hookers?
You know what? It's been a while since I've played this. I'll have to get back to you.
Oh, that sweet ass.
sweet can.
Yes, sweet ass. Wait. I don't think that's the line at all, Jesse. That's way
really
too
crossed the line. Yeah. Actually, that was Bart that said that. Oh God. But yeah, no. And really, all a lot of my complaints were tied also up in the fact it's it's everybody described it as Simpsons meets Grand Theft Auto. It's an open world game. So I was expecting when I got it for it to be one big Springfield for you to explore, but it's level based, and it's different area. In the first level you're Homer, and then the second level you're Bart, and then you're Lisa, and I think at some point you're Apu for some reason. And it's I wish it was just a big ass Springfield for you to drive around and explore. I'd do that, and then I'd nitpick the continuity. That's not where the grocery store is. It'd be absurd just driving around and being an awful Simpsons nerd about it. But they broke it up into.
It'd be nice just to be able to drive from your house all the way to the gorge, jump the gorge back, come back home, right? All in one smooth, continuous thing. That would have been nice.
And you can't ride a skateboard.
I almost feel
That's
it's
a missed opportunity.
Mm-hmm. I almost feel like it's structured in levels because the designers were looking at a map of Springfield and saying, okay, there's no way we can make this work. We have to divide this into sections.
Right. That's the problem with making a virtual Springfield is it doesn't make any sense. And in the show, there's never a continuity. So they could not possibly get it right. So,
but one thing that I did like is every level was a day. And the game takes place over a week, and the final day is Halloween, which was basically an excuse for them to do ridiculous, wacky shit to make it a Halloween special.
Yeah.
Which, I thought was cool because if you're gonna make a Simpsons game, sure, put in Mr. Plow, put in because there's a part where you can go downtown and you can actually drive the wrecked monorail car. Those references, yeah, that's great. But who would honestly think to put a Simpsons Halloween special as a level within the game?
It's a good idea.
Can you drive that little car that Homer tries to buy? That
put in an H car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I feel like all the generic cars in that game were basically the put in H car.
What about Mole Man's Gremlin?
I feel like some of the generic cars are based on the Gremlin. I do know that you can drive Nightboat in car form.
Ooh,
they just added wheels to Nightboat. And I know that you could drive the Honor Roller, which was Bart's push cart car.
Oh yeah.
See, yeah, I like that they included Nightboat, but at the same time, it's it's Nightboat with wheels. Okay, we get it. You're trying, but damn it, you didn't want to add one boat section, so we had an excuse to include Nightboat. Come on. No, the whole game reeks of great effort, but
I think the moment that I was sold on references when I was pulling up to the freeway and I saw that it was the Matlock Expressway. It's okay, you people did your homework.
Yep, that's dope. I was looking at the wiki page for it, and it's you can play as Apu, and many of Apu's quotes reflect his Hindu faith and ethnic background, saying, "Oh, Shiva smiles on such behavior," and "Hindu coming through."
That
Cool.
that was almost my trivia in the I think the European release. One of his quotes was censored because one of his quotes was "out of the way, Whitey," and they had to cut that.
That's the best lie.
They
Man.
should not have, or they should have just made it a game where you play as just the Simpsons and not had a poo level thrown in. It seems like a very odd detour. Like, I want to play as all my favorite Simpsons characters. The family and a poo. Like, it's just what? There's 5 people in the Simpsons family. You could add a Maggie level. Like,
Even Santa's little helper.
I want to
Mhm.
see Maggie
Ooh.
carjacking.
yes,
Grandpa?
exactly. Maggie's very intelligent. Yeah, or a grandpa level. But like, a poo
God,
living
They
with the
should have added
Simpsons?
Grandpa.
Yeah.
I'd like a
yeah.
Blinky the Fish level. That would be good.
Fuck off, John.
Can you play as Mo?
No, I think it's
that's
just Bart,
Oh,
Lisa,
you
Homer.
You could play as
Or
Mo.
Drederick
and,
Tatum?
You could play as Mo, and one mission could be you have to go pick up Aerosmith,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
go
or
and
you
go
gotta
drive
save
a
those-
whale back to the ocean.
goes
you have to drive
save
a
Aerosmith
shitty
from
fucked up
Mrs.
car
Krabappel.
with the rubber hippie daisy on it.
No, there should be a section where you're trying to like not play as Mo, but get around Mo as a stealth section, and you just have to direct him to the wall, and then you can do whatever you want.
Just
What am I
look
looking
at
at?
it.
What's that over
Hold on.
there? What am I
Hold on.
looking at?
What am I looking at?
What? What am I looking at? Come on.
You better. I'm gonna
I'm
stop
gonna
looking.
stop
Look
looking
at it.
soon.
Hey, Helma.
Anyway, we could hang out and make Simpsons quotes all night. But David, anything else on Simpsons Hit and Run?
I thought it was a fun game, and I definitely loved the fan service.
Yes, it's excellent fan service. In your mileage may vary on the rest of the game, but man, if you like Simpsons fan service, it's got it. It's easily the best Simpsons fan service game of all of them. Because seriously, other Simpsons games are nearly incoherent. Like, they just they throw Bart into a dream world, or the Simpsons have to run taxi services for some reason. This one, it's like, no, actually, let's just put them in a world and fill that world with fucking fan service. Like, all right, good idea. Thank you for that. And Johnny, let's hit that calculated computer.
Calculating computer activated. Computers. Beeps.
Space.
Boops. Scoring complete. This game's winner is Jesse Moore.
Yeah.
Now, I would love an explanation.
Well, everyone else was tied, and I didn't feel like doing a tiebreaker, so Jesse wins.
Anti-breaker.
Mario Party-esque victory.
Yes, exactly.
That's it, Jesse. You landed on a hidden block and just got 8 more points.
Yes.
Son of a bitch. And I forgot that we put those hidden blocks all over the game. So, great job, Jesse. Great show. And so what do you got in mind for a theme for our next episode?
So I was thinking, first off, the main character of my game was Billy West, who is a renowned voice actor. Also, Resident Evil remake came out. Resident Evil 2 remake came out, and that game is the original is notorious for having some of the most exquisite voice acting, and so I thought, let's do games that have voice acting. It can be good, it can be bad, but just, it's almost a free play from a certain period of time. But, still, it'd be some fun. Maybe we can throw in some weird voice clips if you want, and I think that'll be a fun theme.
I like it. And I will be Googling NES games with voice clips now because, there's a few of them. It's going to be great. It's going to be Tecmo Bowl. Touchdown!
Yeah.
Exactly. But no, good theme, man. It's like you said, basically a free play after a certain period in time. But I'm into it. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and it gives us an excuse to play a bunch of stupid voice clips. So everybody, do your homework for this week's episode. And fantastic show tonight, guys. A lot of fun. Thank you to everybody that was watching along live with us. We're live every Wednesday night. We're at twitch.tv/GameThatTune, youtube.com/GameThatTune, and facebook.com/GameThatTune. And we really appreciate you guys hanging out, watching along live with us. Thanks to everybody chatting along with us. Find our Discord link at gamethattune.com. Join us in our Discord server and chat along with us live on the show. We really enjoy that. Thank you to everybody listening in podcast form. We appreciate you checking us out in iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. We're at gamethattune.com or anywhere you want to be. Thank you to everybody that listens to the podcast. Thank you to everybody that checks out patreon.com/gamethattune. It's the home for our awesome exclusives. We just recorded a fucking heinous commentary for the Mortal Kombat movie. I do apologize for my role in that. And we've also got mixtapes. We've got Covered Up. We've got GTT Gems. And we use the money to fund our 24/7 video game music live stream over on YouTube. So we appreciate the support. And hope you'll check us out there and throw us a couple of bucks. Special thanks to our super fan tier producers, Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, and Damian Beckles. You guys are all fantastic, and we appreciate the support. Thank you to Lance Revere, our Mandel, for the request tonight. He sent us his request via Twitter at GameThatTune. But you can also hit us up via email, gamethattune@gmail.com. You can hit us up in our Discord server. We take requests there. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter individually. I'm there at jgangsta187. You can find John Regan on Twitter at
JP Regan JR.
You can find David Fleming on Twitter at
DFD Fleming.
And you can find Jesse Moore taking requests for games with voice acting on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
Hell yeah, my man. So you got the bonus tunes tonight. What are we going home with?
To whet our appetite, we're going to have Ryo Hazuki asking people about sailors.
Good, man. Peace out, everybody.
It's playing.
Sailors? I'll look for some. Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Hi.
What can I get for you?
Do you know of a place where sailors hang out?
Sailors? I see them at night. We close at 8, but I often see them from just before that.
I see.
All of the sailors are big, you know. You'll know who they are just by looking.
Where do they hang out?
I would say they hang out at bars or some places like that.
Thanks. Sawano-san.
Hello there, yo.
I'm trying to locate some sailors.
Sailors? Well, I see them around in the evenings. What do you want with them?
No reason. I just want to talk to them.
I see. I'm sorry, but I only see them sometimes.
I see. Well, see you.
Hi, Dio.
Do you know any places where sailors hang out around here?
Sailors? Yeah, I see them at night.
At night?
They're really big, bad dudes, you know. I think they drink a lot of booze at the bars or someplace.
Bars?
Yep. You can see them hanging around the motorcycle shop.
Good point. Nozomi.
Ryo.
You got a minute? Nozomi, do you know of any shops where sailors might go?
Well, they sure don't come in here. I'd guess that they probably hang out in bars.
Yeah, probably. Hey, sorry to bother you at work.
It's no bother. But Ryo, don't do anything crazy.
I won't. See ya.
And now music.
Excuse me.
Oh, hey, Rio. I can't serve you alcohol, but have a seat.
Thanks.
How about a cola?
Sure.
So, what's up?
Saijo-san, do you know any places where sailors like to hang out around here?
You say sailors, but you don't mean just any sailor, do you?
Right.
Try the MJQ Jazz Bar or Heartbeats Bar.
Is that where they go?
But you best be careful. I hear they run with a dangerous crowd.
Any guys with tattoos on their arms?
You'll probably find guys like that there.
That's all right.
Hi, Ryo.
Akemi-san.
Are we done?
Yeah, we're not out just yet. Okay.
Interactive. Fallout 3 is copyright 2008 Bethesda Softworks LLC. The Adventures of Bayou Billy is copyright 1989 Konami. The Simpsons Hit and Run is copyright 2003 Radical Entertainment and Vivendi Universal Games.